Hello everybody and welcome to the 38th, is it? Episode of the Chicken Chess Club podcast. My name is Jan Gustafsson and this will be a very special episode. I'm in Wijk aan Zee as the second of Anish Giri. And also in Wijk aan Zee is a certain Peter Heine Nielsen as Magnus Carlsen's longtime confidant, head coach, Giri-Carlsen's walking buddy, while Laurent Fressinet is being his usual self in Paris, awaiting a Tinder date, trolling, but of course working very hard for Magnus behind the scenes, as we know. Peter, how are things in Wijk for you today?
They are great. I mean, well, all the same like you, but I think I live on the 4th floor, so I have a bit better view. And today...
Well, you know where I live? This is very upsetting. How did you find out?
No, it's just a statistical guess.
Is my room bugged?
No, but it's a statistical guess. There's like 5th floor. I live on the top one. I haven't seen you. I took a shit. And also I was trying to pry for some information like that successfully, I think. But, well, there is a lovely view today because the weather is good. The first days, it has been storms and rain. So this Giri-Carlsen walking body is not to that extent. But now things are lightening up, literally speaking. So that's great. I think, and the tournament is going well for both our guys, right? 2 out of 3, they play each other today. So no reason to complain at all. Free day tomorrow, you name it.
No reason to complain. It's raining like crazy. There's absolutely nothing to do. We're stuck in this hotel. It doesn't have a fridge. I don't know what to eat. I'm struggling here.
My apologies.
I'm really disappointed you gave the breaking news away, Jan, immediately. I mean, people will listen just the first 10 seconds and they will switch it off. I mean, that was a big, question. What Jan was doing in Wijk aan Zee, and you gave it away so quickly, so easily. That should be in the last minute, I think.
My apologies. Let's do the usual podcast then. Peter, how's your correspondence? Played any golf? Kids are good? Do you think about openings for Magnus?
Yeah, I mean, now I guess today I will have to say that I apologize to the listeners that I'm completely unprepared for the podcast because I've spent all my energy preparing for Magnus, right? That I'll have to say. So, no, they're the usual. I mean, actually, Wijk is an excellent golf place. I mean, it's here in the dunes. I mean, for those into golf lingo, as I know many of our listeners are, then it's like sort of links golf where you can play. And I have a golf agreement for one of the upcoming days. So it's actually pretty nice. So no reason.
Is this what you wanted, Laurent?
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to keep, say I'm in Wijk. I don't know. You people guess what I'm doing. And that would have been interesting.
Well, I haven't exactly been hiding, so I think it's the secret is out. But yeah, we're having a good time so far. Tournament is going well, as we I think debated in the last episode. It's a very small village, and the weather has been terrible. So you do your usual thing. You go to the Italian restaurant, to Sonnebank, to Klein Switzerland, and yeah, sometimes you see some people, but mainly it's working, chilling in the hotel. I've been going to the lovely neighboring village of Beverwijk while Anish is playing to go to the gym, working out very hard. But yeah, other than that.
So tell us everything. I saw many, I mean, people are curious. So on the picture, we could see Kasim Janov, we could see Vichy Anand, of course. We could see Dvokovic. So who is there as a guest, guest of honor, as they say, or who is there as a second? Is Vichy helping the kids? Indian kids?
Before we get to that, there's one thing I noticed that I think is surely a record for a tournament. There's a record number of parents accompanying players. I mean, it's absolutely shocking. If we go through the list, of course, Giri-Carlsen is here, that we are used to. Levan Aronian is with his dad.
So actually the 2 oldest players has brought their dads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Then Gukesh is with the dad. Keimer is with the mom. Abdusatorov is with the mom.
That's amazing, actually.
There are more. The breakfast room is full of parents. Max Warmerdam's mom was here.
I mean, Jan and myself, I know for sure we would go to tournament just to avoid being with parents, actually.
Okay.
I mean, that was the whole point of going to chess tournaments, no?
I wouldn't say it that way, but yeah, I never wanted my parents to join for chess tournaments. Even when I was 12 years old, I was always like on a solo mission.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, that was a way to feel, adult, and that was a nice way to. I don't know. Okay, that's interesting. Is Ding alone?
Ding is alone. Actually, the other day, I walked by the dining room quite late, and there's Team Carlsen, Peter, Henrik, and Magnus having a lovely dinner in the hotel because the restaurants are like 200 meters away, so they have to eat here at one table. And Ding is sitting alone at a table like one away. Poor Ding, he's all by himself.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird to me. They should send someone with him. I don't know. But yeah, he's doing quite okay as well. So far, we'll discuss that later. So Peter, you had something to say, sorry.
It's very long ago. I've completely forgotten it.
So what is, except for parents, we were talking about that, Kasim and I saw the most well-known actually grandmasters, except from you guys, of course, who are the two most famous. But I saw Kasim and Vishy Anand on the picture, so I was wondering what they were doing there.
Yeah, Kasim is with Abdusatorov. I think they've been working for a while. Of course, he has had many clients over the years, but yeah, he's with Abdusatorov, who's also accompanied by his mom. I'm not sure if I mentioned that on the parents list.
Yeah.
Vishy is the guest of honor. He's here for the first week. He's actually, I thought he was doing well. I'm not sure. Peter was at the opening as well. He told some touching stories about how Predrag Nikolic had to knot his tie in the old days in Wijk. And I think he's growing into his role of ambassador for the game. And yeah, when he's not a player, I think, he can focus on it more. And he was very charming. But yeah, I think he'll be leaving soon.
Peter?
He's leaving in a couple of it. No, I have nothing to add. I mean, it's obvious that Jan is much more socially observant than me. I'm basically just hanging in my room, going early to breakfast, stuff like this. So
you were at the exact same opening I was.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, yes and no. But during the opening, you were mingling while I was sitting hiding with Magnus somewhere backstage. So, I mean, yes and no. I have an excuse but actually, no, but I mean, recently I played a sort of consultation game at the Latvian embassy, and I noted very well that, they are diplomats. Their job is to talk to each other. So they were really trying to talk with everybody, but I was basically just trying to hide from any kind of social contact. So I think that's how, at least I behave, but probably quite some chess players as well. So, but you actually, I'm very impressed. You seem to get a lot of stuff. I'm getting a lot of news from listening to you here. Hopefully the listeners are too.
Yeah, it is a news podcast. No, but it's fun, I have to say. Like, of course, this second work, not sure how much we can reveal, but most of the time it's hanging out in a hotel room, like clicking on stuff either alone or with your boss. But I enjoy being in the chess atmosphere, being in Wijk, like seeing guys at practice, also seeing the new faces. Like I haven't seen Gukesh and Abdusatorov in person much. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying it. But obviously, Wijk is long, weather is bad, so the result always has a great effect on mood.
So Jan, tell me just one last question about your job without revealing too much. So before the free day, do you get a free evening? Can you hang out in the bars of Wijk and Zee and drink some beers with your German buddies? If there are some, I guess there are some. I mean, many players. I mean, there's some open.
For me, actually, there I think we're slightly different. I don't have to pick my buddies by the same nationality as me. Like it's a little different for you.
Yeah, it's fun for me. Thank you. So
I can confess I haven't had a single drink since I arrived in Wijk, and I'm planning to change that tonight.
Okay. Maybe because having Giri as a drinking buddy doesn't seem very promising, I would say. I don't think he's drinking at all.
I don't think he drinks much, but in general, no, it's a workplace. Like you don't drink here at dinner. There's some work to be done afterwards.
No, of course, no, but I understand. But before the free day,
I'm sure I'll find someone. I'll find someone to have a beer with. Maybe Peter. Maybe
I
we can
had
catch up.
two beers already.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's what I actually, when Jan was showing off that he was in Beverwijk, I have actually been to Amsterdam. So
Wow.
I can beat that. Yeah. We were going to watch a football match. I think this was Ajax against, now I'm going to be embarrassing. I think Twente. And we spent like 85 minutes watching a 0-0 game like that. And very impressive stadium, spots for 55,000 and 3 non-alcoholic beers in the lounge. So I was having a great time, basically. Got a bit drunk, but I had 2 of these non-alcoholic beers. So, yeah.
You got a bit drunk by 2 non-alcoholic beers?
Yeah, I think so, at least. But
right.
I could be wrong. Anyway, you can hear me clicking in the background. The game is going on as we speak, but maybe move on to something substantial? Or?
Yeah, so we are Tuesday at the time of recording, and it's exactly 3 p.m., a bit more. And Anish Giri and Giri-Carlsen are playing together, so this is a big game of the day already. The Queens are off the board, some Queens Indian. And
finally.
We will see.
It is a big awkward also that we're doing a podcast here with me and Jan being supposed to be friends, but actually being enemies.
You're not, come on. Of course, yeah. You're frenemies.
No, I don't think it's awkward. Like, the news, what I'm doing here, you've known for a while. It would have been awkward yesterday, I think. If you have to prepare for each other, you have to be careful what you say. Today, I don't think it's very awkward, but
maybe not.
Then again, you find awkwardness in more places, which explains your social life.
You're not looking well enough, simply. You need to be more imaginative.
I actually agree with Jan. Even yesterday would have been fine. It's not the first time they are playing together. We know what both are expecting from each other. It's pretty clear. They have a very long history, and it's just another game. And we'll see. It's interesting. It's an interesting, actually.
Yeah. No, obviously results matter, but the process itself, it's not anybody's first rodeo, which was also funny at the opening ceremony, because all these kids were asked, like, what does it mean to be in Wijk? And you often got the answer, it's my first super tournament, and I'm super excited to be here. I hope to do well. You got that answer a lot, and I think Giri said, it's not my first super tournament. I'm not excited. And Magnus also had some witty points, but you could see who the veterans were in the field for sure.
Quiet. It's a long tournament, right? They have played. After this game today, they have a full tournament left of 9 games from normal standards, right? So we'll see. But I don't know if you're getting into substance, but so far, the kids has been moderately disappointing, right? They seem maybe there is some nerves, or you think it's just that the older guys are better?
I think it's case by case. We can get Gukesh lost in the first round to Ding, and then in the second round to Anish, which of course is not a great start. 0 out of 2. Yeah, I think it's too early to say if it's a chest thing or nerves or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of for Gukesh. As black in the first game against he was white against Ding. He was surprised. Ding played an excellent game actually, and I was actually commenting that game with Svidler live, and it was very, very good game from Ding. Ding is playing very well so far.
Also, I think it's a brilliant strategy to surprise with a Queen's Indian.
Yeah. And the second game, of course, we'll come back to it, but he got hit in the opening, which can happen. And when you have, it was a nasty stuff where you have to be, I guess, super precise. I don't know, I didn't check it, but you have to be super precise. Over the board, it looks super scary for black, and
I don't know, I didn't check it either, but it looked a bit scary.
No, it was some nasty stuff. He got hit in the opening by Giri. It's not the first one, not the last one. So I would guess it's more. He's learning, but it's not that bad. I would say it's not like he's playing terrible.
No, I think it's too early to say for that. It was important for him to draw in the third round to get some stability. I would say, I think I mentioned this in the preview episode as well, that his repertoire maybe is still a little limited for like super tournament purposes. Like he plays Rossolimo and he plays Ragozin, which are both fine openings. But maybe he'll expand a little there. But I think it's too early to make any reads. As for Keimer, he played terribly against Magnus, as he tends to do. But the other games were drawn. And I think it's also too early to draw conclusions there. And the other kids, they've drawn all their games, and Abdusattorov even won a game. So I don't think we can claim kids are in trouble yet.
And we can also claim that there's a difference in level, between, let's say, Magnus and Gukesh. This is obvious for everyone. Even Giri is still a bit ahead.
Wow!
But there's still some difference. So they are learning experience. I think. Giri. I mean, okay. Look at how he deals with openings. As black, he never has a single problem. As white, manage. I don't know if it will be like that all the tournament, because it was, of course, you need to get ideas. He has ideas, but then you need to show them as well, which is not always very obvious. And we'll see.
No, but that's what I was talking about earlier. It's easier to show ideas if you have them, if you know what's coming, obviously. And I think modern chess in general is changing a bit more towards being unpredictable and jumping a little bit, which of course makes it harder to hit you at the expense that you don't know your stuff so well. But I think the trend is changing a little from having one opening that you know super well to jumping around. But we'll see where it goes. I have no clue.
Yeah, so Ding in the first round. The first round. The main event of the first round was, of course, Fabi's haircut. Which made a Klus look like idiots with our ratings.
What? Look great. I was a big fan of the new style. He has really short hair.
Yeah, yes too.
Looks good on him. I think he's also been working out. He looks in great shape. Big fan of Fabi 2023.
No, it's fine. I'm not saying, but he had more. I would say Peter, he had more personality with the previous hairs.
No, there is some personality in what he's doing now, isn't there? Or,
sure.
I mean, it stands out, is my impression, right? So it's not...
but are you sure it's not because he had all those hairs before that it stands out?
Sorry, I haven't thought a lot about it. But I thought it's... Well, he walked into a room and you immediately notice that gives away that there is some kind of personality to it, right?
Okay, fair enough. So Ding Big Gukesh, I think it was a very, very good game, as I said. And Abdusattorov did beat Rapport in this Vienna. Ricci, as we expected, I think we didn't expect much from Ricci. He came up with this Vienna, took a lot of risk, but overall it looks like not the Ricci we used to see. I don't know what you guys think about that, or maybe it's too early to draw any conclusions. But
no, I generally agree. He seems a little bit, uninspired, or what you would call that. Somehow, he hasn't really found his rhythm yet. Is my impression. I mean, so I generally agree with you, obviously.
Yeah, it's. I think most of the stuff we said in the preview episode. I guess a lot of stuff happening in his life. Yeah, it's a little worrying that it's such a long tournament. I'm also not sure if he's with somebody I haven't seen. But if you start badly and then you are a little uninspired, of course, it can get very long. But Richie is such a good player. I wouldn't write anybody off yet, really, because of the first 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm. No, but clearly he's one that he can't be satisfied with how things has been going till now. I'm sure.
So arguably, the second round was the most exciting, I would say, so far, by quite a margin. With this prep from Giri and this great attacking stuff, knight EG5 for those who missed, knight EG5 followed by rook E6, which is of course in the position because white has an isolated pawn, black has bishops, and also they are lacking, they are behind in development, so you should do something very concrete. As white, also the black king is weak, but still, it was a very, very nice game and very well played. And especially, I will note the great opening prep. Jan, was it your idea? Huxi too?
You're just jumping back in time and we're talking about the same thing again. But yeah, it was a nice game, Giri, Gukesh. Everything that works well will be my idea. Everything that doesn't work well was not my idea. That's generally the approach.
Yeah,
That's a tell. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an excellent game. And I don't know if you want to add something, Peter?
No, I think it was a pretty nice game from start to finish. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I don't much to add. It was a good game. I mean, it's a good surprising opening idea followed up by exact calculation and execution, and that was a very clean win. Absolutely no doubts about it.
It's very rare, actually, no, to catch someone that in such a nasty way.
You're right. It happens very rare that someone gets a massive position out of the opening these days. I mean, the benchmark is normally that getting to play under practically pleasant circumstances is already a good step. That you actually manage to, get such a head start to your opponent is extremely rare these days. So, I mean, we have to tip our hat to the team, no doubts.
Yeah, because the numbers are not that big for white, but you can feel that it's so, in a practical game, it's so difficult to play for black, and he went wrong immediately, king h8, but how to blame him? King f8 was also, okay, you have to do something, it's very scary, and over the board, and just from a practical point of view, it was an excellent choice by Team Gay.
Okay, are we done fishing or can we move on?
No,
I'm not fishing. I mean, okay.
Magnus won a nice game. No, I'm kidding. Magnus won a nice game against Keimer. How did you come towards the idea to play the Grunfeld against Keimer?
Well,
did you know he was going to go bishop g5 and miss b5?
I don't think so. I mean,
I'm kidding, but it was a nice game.
Yeah, no, Magnus' game was also one-sided, but in a different way, right? Well, Keimer normally plays knight f3 followed by, c4, e3. So that he played d4 was, if anything, a little bit of a surprise. But you had this feeling that this knight f3 repertoire he has, perhaps he wouldn't do it in this tournament. And this was because, classical chess, you have the tendency to play perhaps a different kind of more objective chess, perhaps. I don't know how to phrase it correctly. But this was the first white game of Keimer, so to be honest, we didn't really know what to expect.
And it's what he does today, actually, before you make too many wrong predictions. He just went knight f3, d4, knight f3, e3, bishop e2, c3, which is very weird and unimpressive, actually.
One of the things he does. He's played this before.
Yeah, he does, and he does it well. I mean, Keimer... was one of those we spoke about. His recent form has been great, but here so far, it hasn't been good for him. I think of the game with Magnus, he was very passive and basically had a fine position out of the opening, which he turned into a strategically just dead lost position in a very few move. But to be fair, Magnus is not an easy opponent for Keimer. Well, Magnus is not an easy opponent for that many players actually. But Keimer has been playing below his level against Magnus on several occasions recently, and maybe it could be a situation of them being similar in style, but that means that when you're playing Magnus and you're similar in style, you really have no weapons, but because of course he's going to be better than you in your best area. So I don't know what the explanation is. Could also be that he's just a bit intimidated by Magnus, which wouldn't be completely unreasonable either, but not a good effort from Keimer in that game, no doubt. Magnus got a pretty...
No, I actually disagree.
Wow.
I think Magnus' game was perfect. I mean, it was a very, very good game. And Keimer making one or two mistakes. I mean, what can you name some mistakes? I mean, except d5. Okay, but d5 is...
No, bishop g5, come on. He has a normal position of the opening, and then he gives it all away in one move, making it a strategically horrible position.
Okay, bishop g5 makes a lot of sense. But this b5, rook e8 is...
It's a blunder, come on. It makes He just misses b5.
No, I think he missed that. No, of course he doesn't miss b5. Of course he saw b5. Bishop b5, bishop e2. Okay, it's rook e8. Okay, you want to play e5. Okay, it looks a bit passive. And it was not completely clear to me during the game when I was commenting that this knight b6, bishop e6, c5 will come in the right timing. I think it was excellent game by Magnus. I mean, I would really disagree with you.
So he found b5 the only move and rook e8 the only move?
No, come on. This is not easy. I mean...
No, it was a good game, but come on. The point is that Keimer is playing worse against Magnus, and that, I think, is clear, which, of course, is also because Magnus is better.
Yeah, but he's threatening knight b6, knight d5. I mean,
let's stop debating that position. Anybody at home, switch on your engine, and you can decide for yourself if it was a mistake or just...
No, you don't have to. You have to switch on. Actually, I mean, this is the problem that you are. You have to switch on your brain, and you understand it's not easy for white.
So with the brain, you come up with bishop g5. Yeah?
I think bishop g5, would make a lot of sense. Okay, it doesn't work because of b5 rook e8, and it's not easy to understand that it's so bad for white. I would say. I don't know. For me, it's not so easy. Maybe for you, it's super simple, but not for me. I didn't get it at all during the game, and then I understood later, but I don't think it's easy at all.
Okay, let's move on from that position where Magnus made the two only moves and went from slightly worse to much better.
Yeah, no, but you are mocking. I mean, I think you're
very much mocking. Okay. No. I think I'm but it doesn't mean that Magnus didn't play a great game. The debate is if Keimer is playing badly there, if it's a Magnus effect, or if it's just something that can happen. But who cares? So he drew his other two games. The Magnus problem, I guess it's a problem many people have. He's also quite good at chess.
Well, he will only face Magnus once in this tournament, so we'll see how it goes there.
Tiebreak.
Yeah, that could happen. Of course, you're right. If we get there, we get there. No, it was a good game for Magnus. Actually, the first round, Magnus had a very promising position against Aronian, but threw it away. So for us, of course, it was. Nice that Magnus got a win because what looked like could be a very good start for Magnus, which is not so typical in Wijk, disappeared with just a couple of inaccuracies in the first round with Aronian, and then he played well in the next game, and then the third round, I don't know. Well, he was wide with Ding, but it basically became a non-game more or less, I would say. So 2 out of 3, and now the black pieces with Giri, and game in progress as we are recording here.
But actually, the game with Aronian, let's come back to it. I think, okay, you will again disagree. Aronian's defense was incredibly creative. I mean, it was very impressive. This rook a7 move, I liked it. And you want to take the pawn on a5. And now you are both looking at me like... I'm trying to think with my brain, guys.
Yeah, can you stop? Can you stop?
No, I'm not switching on the engine. Sorry, I'm trying to. I'm really sorry, but the knight a5, of course, knight c5 was the right move. But I think this rook a7 was brilliant stuff by Levon. Of course, he misplayed a bit the opening, but otherwise, then he played brilliantly. I think 98% of accuracy on chess.com.
Will you do it, or shall I, Jan?
I don't know. You do it.
I basically disagree with everything you say there. I mean, you haven't studied the details, and for that you have to turn on your engine, I think. So, but fair enough. I mean,
actually, they are without engines once they are playing. But
I understand the practical perspectives, but I think Magnus had a great chance to put. I'm not saying he was winning. The computer was saying maybe 0.7, but he could have made it incredibly difficult and unpleasant for Aronian. And instead, he released the tension, and the game was quickly over. So that was.
So when he took on a5, yeah? Or
after taking on a5 is just a very bad move. It basically, Aronian. It releases all the tension in the position, and Aronian gets to exchange a lot, and it becomes very simplistic. While rook a7. You can praise it, but I forgot if Magnus had some kind of quiet move where he could just still keep the pressure. I was not. That was subpar for Magnus, but he very much weighed up for it the next day. That in terms of winning with black against Keimer. So rating-wise, Magnus is probably en route according to what the rating predicts, but in a bit of unusual way, perhaps one would say.
No, but I mean, even after this fourth sequence, it looks a bit better for white. But then I think Levon defended just very, very, very nicely. I mean, just also calculating the lines very well. So, yeah, you have to praise him for that, even if Magnus missed one chance, let's say, half chance.
What the listeners need to understand that Laurent did commentary on the first two rounds with Svidler, so it means without engine. So he hasn't checked the games, but he has some insights on what they did commentary on, and he will use that against us and shame us as engine monkeys if we've actually looked at them. So this is going to happen for the first two rounds, but not round three. He's clueless about round three.
No, I'm back to the geek, the geek side with the engines on. But but it's nice to watch. Actually, I was really enjoying. And we didn't mention that, but it's a classical tournament for. We mentioned that in the previous episode, but it's the first classical tournament since Sinkerfield top tournament, which was, to say the least, a weird tournament. So everybody, I think, is very excited, and it's nice to be able to see such games where you can take your time and players are finally thinking and going into details.
This amazing mix of having most of the best player in the world and also the best talents in the world. I mean, well, you can mention, of course, we lack some, Alireza, the Russian players, but even so, it's an incredibly strong tournament. Some are arguing that perhaps it's the strongest Wijk ever, and as we know, Wijk has an extremely long tradition. So it's really it's a chess party here in a way. I understand that we have different expectations of what a real party is, me and Jan, but I still think it's quite something.
Yeah, to me it involves talking to people or seeing people.
No.
But no, I agree with everything else. It's also very old school time control. I think it can last up to 7 hours, so it's not the faster pace we are used to even in classical chess. And it feels nice, like very, very back to the roots. Bad weather, there's one sparse supermarket that closes at like 7 p.m. Other than that, there's nothing but chess and the hotel. I quite enjoyed.
Very much.
I like to disagree with you, Peter, so I will disagree on little thing. I mean, the field is great. I would invite someone like Chucky, Ivan Chuk, or a veteran. It has always been the case in Wijk that they have all kind of generation. And I think that some one veteran is missing. Let's say some guy like Ivan Chuk who can play some guide games and teach a lesson to Pragananda any day. Of course, he's probably not doing he won't probably do very well in such tournaments, but I'm sure he would win some good games. So
you're sure he would win some good games?
I would guess so. No, this is what he does. No.
Wow, Laurent has really gone full populist.
Yeah.
But we have Levon and Magnus. Like, I don't know what veterans you're missing.
No. Vichy is here also. He just chose not to play.
Vichy would be better. Yeah.
Do you consider Levon as a veteran? Really?
Of course, he's 40. He's 8 years older than the second oldest participant. How is he not a veteran?
But you used to have Timan, Van Veli. I mean, it used to be some, the spice of also.
Yeah, but they stopped 10 years or 30 years ago because they were too old for it, right? I mean, no, I understand Van Wille used to play, but now there is 2 Dutch players already, so he's sort of lost the growth.
It was a bit more mixed in terms of, let's say, age. Now you have like 13 players between 16 and 32. So that's what I mean. But yeah, I would not mind having Ivan Chuk in that tournament, let's say.
Also bothered me about the football World Cup finals. Like, they all seem between 20 and 30, 35. Like, I mean, add some veterans. They can score some great goals.
Yeah, but Ivan Chuk could I mean, he would definitely score some points. Or Vichy.
No, obviously he's a great player. But I don't know. I'm quite happy with the field and the composition of the field. And we get to see all these kids.
I'm also happy. I would say that Vichy, let's say Vichy. Like, if he would like to play, that would be nice.
Vichy also seems very happy with not playing and being a guest of honor.
Yeah, no, that I understand. But let's say, so some guy like that as an extra would be.
I'm pretty sure the organizers would like Vichy to play if possible.
Of course. I'm sure he got an invitation.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add, Laurent, for benefits of our listeners?
No, I mean, like you are mocking me because I've the opinion of the people, of the players. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm playing more than you, so I have more this perspective of playing. I'm really sorry.
Just to reiterate, you want Ivanchuk in the field because you're playing more than us, so you have more of a player's perspective.
No, I was talking about the previous the games. This Bishop G5 from Kemmer, which is a blunder according to you, which I think it's a very normal move to make, and it's very hard to see why it's not good. But yeah, okay. If you switch on the engine, of course, then you understand it's a blunder. But I don't think it means bad shape.
Wow, this is really a new shtick because Laurent did unplugged commentary for 2 days now. He's shaming us as engine monkeys and claiming about his great practical feel. I mean, this is getting too much.
No, not at all. But I mean, like, okay, this Bishop G5 is just a normal move, and you just say, oh, it's stable shape to play.
You know what's a normal move? Castles.
But okay.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why is Bishop G5 a normal move?
Yeah, what's normal about that move? You develop the Bishop on F4, you're losing to Tempe. We can do the whole podcast on it, but you're so obviously wrong.
No, but you didn't listen to me because black is threatening knight b6. You move the bishop, I go knight d5, attack your pawn c3, and your bishop on f4, you lose the bishop pair. So you see that, and you want to move. You want to play bishop e2, or you want to play bishop g5. That's the two moves which comes to mind.
And knight b6, bishop c7 is very computerish, yeah?
Yeah, I will just remove my bishop and I will play rook c8 and you lose the tempo. But okay, now we are too far.
It's podcasting, Laurent. No one knows what we're talking about. You're very obviously wrong, but we can't spend the whole podcast on that position.
I'm actually siding with Jan here and suggest we move on, but fair enough.
I know you think you're right, so do I. Can we move past it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's happening in Team Giri? Not that much to report. First round was black against Fabi. Fabi didn't go 1e4, but went for knight f3, e3, Keimer style. And yeah, Giri had a good position, then missed one chance, maybe a bit similar to Magnus Aronian, although there, I would say, maybe Laurent will disagree, that the chance was a little more hidden. He could have sacrificed a piece for long term later on and gotten an advantage, but then it was a normal draw. Yeah, round 2 was fine. Round 3 was also sort of a normal draw against Masoudlou. Today, at the time of recording, of course, the big game against Magnus. Yeah, so all good there. Our boy Jordan van Foreest, who won the event last time around, looks a little out of shape. I think he had a couple blunders throughout his games. He fought heroically and drew his first 2 games. But then against Fabi, first of all, that's one of the sicker opening ideas I've seen.
It's incredibly impressive. I mean,
but it didn't go well in the end.
No, but that's typical Jordan, right? In a position where there is so many good and reasonable moves, he still looks for something that is, I wouldn't call it outrageous, but still.
It's fairly outrageous for nerd standards. At least this Bishop e6 in the Petrov was fairly outrageous.
He plays some move and backs it up with some kind of quality, but it's he's very fascinating person in that way, chess sense, right? I mean, I'm not sure there's a lot of equity in it. Probably there's minus equity in it, but he's still very cool. And he's a fascinating player, in my opinion.
I mean, for sure. I mean, if you can get such ideas,
it's just difficult. I mean, no, we would discard it immediately.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so.
I don't know. I would need first to think about it. That's a problem, and I would probably not. I didn't the last 20 years, so I don't know why it would come now. And I think if you find such ideas and if it's playable, why not? I think it's a good choice. I mean, I think you are a bit I don't know. I wouldn't discard. I think it's great stuff. Could have gone much.
No, I mean he got a decent position, but black against Caruana by playing something very different, and that's
you get some extra time on the clock for sure.
Yeah, it was very very impressive. Just Jordan is on his own planet in a way, and then quite successful at times.
No, obviously we like the way he thinks. That's why he was also on the World Championship team, and it's cool the stuff he comes up with. But I think he's a bit out of shape just when it comes to playing. I mean, like there are some, more or less. Once again, I didn't check without engine, so it's hard for me to judge. But more or less easy blunders for his level that Yeah, he got away with twice, but Fabi didn't forgive.
I agree that.
And it's
against Wesley, Wesley in the first round.
Yeah, he missed his knight f4 against Wesley.
Yeah.
And
his chess playing things here has not been too great, right? Maybe he's been fighting and defending, but he was close to losing all 3 games, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, for him, it can be very tough if he doesn't manage to sort of change the trend to some extent. I don't know how things are going for him today. He seems to have a nice position against Gukesh, but it's a bit early to judge, I guess.
No, but I think it was a good tie, and yeah, it's more. Let's not blame his opening ideas, which was great, I think. But his play, simply, is not in shape.
And I think the problem is that with his opening style is that it works well if you're in good shape, but if you're in bad shape, you're really accelerating the risks, right? And I mean, he actually managed to win the event once, and I mean, even if his strategy fails 10 times and he won one event, it's still been an overall success in my opinion. So I mean, basically, he can play Wijk and Zee forever, and we will have to forgive him because he actually managed to pull the biggest upset that I can ever remember in Wijk. So.
No, in Wijk, or in Dutch chess, he's a hero forever, but still, I thought he would make the next jump, establish himself at 27 plus, and maybe get into the super tournament scene. And recently, his chess has looked a little off. I still think he's a very special, creative guy, and hope he can get back to it.
I agree with you. Even after last year's Wijk, I mean, of course, he didn't defend his title, but he did very well. I forgot if he ended on 50% or maybe even +1. And you still got this impression that he belongs there. So far, he has basically just been struggling, but we will see. But on the sort of power rankings, he's falling a bit. But I think also you mentioned that he's been out of shape recently, right?
Yeah, I think so. You can also see by his rating, like he's down 50 points from his peak. Yeah, other observations, I don't know. Frankly, I guess it's similar for Peter. Of course, I look at the other games where we're focused on our job, so I don't have that many witty observations about the games, like Pragnananda, whose sister is also here, playing in the Challengers group, and he's, of course, with the coach Ramesh. Has been doing as okay as far as I can see, drawing all his games. Eric Aisi, I think he got into some trouble against Levon. Yeah, but he managed to hold. So far, no big conclusions. They're both good players, and 3 draws, of course. Could still go anyway. What else is happening?
Yeah, it's a long tournament, so it's of course very hard to say. There is also we didn't mention at all. The big group, which is never an easy tournament. I had some have some terrible recollection from that, and so some funny games happened there, and from very rare, something incredibly rare, the King's Gambit. You are giving the line. I think Tabatabae was playing the line you are giving in your chessable course, Jan, but he mixed up a little bit the move order, and I don't think you are recommending Bishop E7.
No, don't hang a piece on move 6 is my general advice.
Yeah, which is good. Even unplugged, yeah.
Even unplugged, I would recommend not hanging a piece.
Yeah. But so he lost a piece on move 6-7. I don't know. And then later on won the game, so that was really
that was weird.
Really, that was a bit shocking. Some compensation he had, but that was
in a game between 2 very strong players, 2-6-39 against 2-6-50, and one side is a piece down for not that much after 6 moves and wins. That's rare.
Well, to be fair, also, I mean, it's a piece, but not like they have a symmetrical position, a piece up. There is some confusion going on, sure. I mean, but even so, I mean, the computer says +2 when it starts, right? So it is. It's a very.
Is even 2686, which is. I mean, he's
sorry. Of course, he's much higher.
Very close to 2700. And also, he's just up and coming. Youngster, so he will be 2700. I mean, I would think that it's almost guaranteed, but it can happen. It was a bit naive though, because after Bishop E7, if you don't win a piece, then your Queen E2 move is not really helping, because Black will just castle, play Rook E8, open up the center, and your Queen E2 you cannot develop your pieces. But still, he won later on, which was, of course, very, very painful for Perak. And also, we should note that Elin Roberts, a young Dutch girl, she beat Lamy, which was quite a sensational result. But she's playing very well. Yesterday, she drew Max Warmerdam. And she's really...
She was winning at some point yesterday. She had a much better position and ended up in a draw. But she's been impressive, and it's
very impressive.
It's good to see females doing well in open competition. So that's great. And I think she's only 16, right?
Yeah, she's only 16.
17, I think. But yeah, she's she looks strong.
Yeah.
Rough start for my friend Erwin Lamy, the reigning Dutch champion. But yeah, I think he drew the first game, then he lost the one.
You are outing my walking buddies. Erwin is your walking buddy as well, right? I mean, he's sort of... he's playing here.
Wow, is he double dipping?
No, he's not. He's walking buddies. It means that you are outing is...
sorry. Henrik is your walking buddy. Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
I thought you were walking with Erwin as well.
No, I'm really not. No. I promise you that I'm not... that I don't talk to you, you shouldn't be insulted about. I don't talk to anyone here. So that's...
I'm familiar with you. No worries whatsoever.
Yeah, it's good.
You could share your correspondence, Chess 960. He's playing correspondence, regular chess. So I think he might be interested in your correspondence, Chess 960.
But it's illegal to give out moves and things like that while
no, but
games
just, just
we could speak about it. We think we would get to that. A lot of the games ends up in a draw. So I think that would be the quickest conclusion. And we can start talking about my correspondence if you want to.
No.
The Wijk is not. We haven't covered it fully, but we are getting there. Basically, I think. Well, is there like 4 or 5 guys in the shared lead? Anish, Magnus, Fabi,
Ding,
Abdusatoro, right? Yeah. So it's basically, a lot of the higher rated players, and then up to Satorov as well, right? So
yeah, of course, it's a bit too early to draw conclusions, but if you look at the rating list, Magnus is the number 1 seed, Ding the 2, Fabi the 3, Giri the 4, right? So it's maybe not all coincidence.
I think actually, now Giri is your boy because you are there with him, but normally you actually refer to Wesley as your boy. He's not doing that great. Right?
My boy Wesley. Is he higher rated than those guys?
I think he's slightly higher rated than Anne.
Sorry, Wesley. Still a fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, point still stands.
He's not. So you're right.
He's number 5 in the world.
I think.
But Wesley has been a bit uninspired here, right?
He missed a great chance against Gazi in game 2, where he faced this early surprise. I know everything about the first couple of rounds because I was commenting for 7 hours. This rook b8 stuff, which was a similar. It couldn't fall tempo up. Okay, it was an interesting idea from Gazi, but Wesley did react very well and managed to pose some problems. And he had the winning position, but. Somewhat, it's not very. When you give a chance to Wesley in general, to Jan's boy Wesley, he's taking them. You don't have to give him 10 chances to win a game. 1 is generally enough. So that was a bit, of course, surprising that he didn't take that chance against Gazi. But the rest was a couple of draws as black, so nothing special, I guess.
Yeah, long tournament. I think we can't read too much into 1 out of 3 with 2 blacks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so far the veterans, and also we've talked about Wijk being a special place, maybe the guys that have been here more often and are used to the rain and which restaurants to go to and when and what will be crowded and so on. Maybe have a little edge just in being comfortable with the conditions. But yeah, next week, it could all be very different. Who knows?
Yeah,
I agree. We have seen it before with, I think at some point Magnus was maybe trailing Ivanchuk by 2 points and managed to catch him. Anyway, it's a very, very long tournament. And
they should have Ivanchuk in this event.
Sorry, yeah, they should have Ivanchuk in this event. Yeah, I guess just someone has thought about that. But we will see. Not much to add.
Yeah, you're a hater. You became a hater, Jan. I don't know why. Maybe your new, acquaintance. It's
No,
not
but-
old. It's not new. It's old one.
That would be more true, but I think Peter agrees with me 100% on all the completely ridiculous points you're bringing up. So you can't use that reasoning for for all of them.
So.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, we're back to that. Actually, I mean, there is one reason, only one reason. I hope Giri will do well in that tournament to keep you in good mood and or not too bad, let's say, for the next couple of weeks. No, really. So you gave me one reason, but I don't know. I mean, to see Ivanchuk in that tournament, you wouldn't be happy, I think.
No, I mean, big fan of Ivanchuk. Who isn't? I just was surprised when you said you were sure he would win a couple of good games. Like, I'm not sure. But anyway.
To your credit, Laurent, I mean, Sutovsky wrote the same on Facebook. He said, why not have Ivanchuk in the field? So you're not alone. So, yeah. Anyway, maybe enough about that?
No, I think this will come back just as Bishop G5 by Keimer.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Other than that, I don't have much to talk about, guys. Peter, shall we move on to the broad chess world? I haven't followed a lot of news. The World Championship match, it seems like this Mexico fell apart. That was behind the scenes. It sounded like it was going to happen. And now I'm not sure if there's anything official. I'm not sure if I read it or I heard it. There were two venues they were trying to decide between.
Wow.
This week, maybe even?
Well, I mean, there is a feeder tweet where they say that they will make, I mean, that the council is having a vote, and but they will only announce which one they chose when the contract is signed, probably around Friday. So that's, but I don't have any kind of knowledge.
But don't you need the players to sign as well the contract, or how does that work? Just FIDE is signing, yeah, and then they deal with the player.
I don't think the players, in principle, has the veto rights on the venue.
Okay.
No, they can agree to play or not to play, but exactly. I don't think they can fix the conditions in the venue. Yeah.
No.
So they still didn't agree to play because they don't have any venue.
No, but that's always happens.
I mean, the players will sign the contract after there is a venue. I think that's quite reasonable enough.
Okay. So it's still not 100% sure that this match is happening.
But you know any venues, Jan? I sound like you were about to mention the two possible venues, or no?
No, I don't know. Once again, I'm not even sure where I heard it or if I read it somewhere. I heard Latin America is still in play, but maybe not Mexico, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's only rumors and random talk like this. So yeah, I don't know anything official.
No, I only know what I've seen on Twitter, and it's, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we will see simply, but it's very late. I don't know if the dates are set in stone. Probably they are, but it seems a bit, of course we could ask Ding, he is here, right? But I mean, again, well, I actually have spoken to Ding, so that's,
boom.
Well, I met him on the street. We said hi. I said it was nice to see him again after a lot of years, and then he left. So that's
the question that I had was, who talks less during this tournament? Is it Ding or Peter if it's not to Magnus or Henrik? But Ding to anybody. I think it's close.
I don't know.
So you mean inside the tournament, not on the phone or something? Something we don't know.
Yeah, I think calls on the phone or Skype and so on don't count. Like as in person.
Yeah,
it's true. I haven't seen Ding in a social interaction with another person here. Not at all.
I feel bad for him because I think everybody likes Ding, but he's always sitting there alone. Maybe it's just how he wants it to be. But I feel bad for him.
But at a chess tournament, it feels intrusive, just crashing someone's table. Right?
Yeah, and also you don't want to break their routines necessarily and so on. And I don't know him, like I can't just say, "What's up, Ding? You want some company?"
No, exactly.
But I feel bad for him. But maybe wrongly, maybe he's just comfortable the way.
If Ding is listening to the podcast and wants some company, I mean, we would be happy to, right? Oh, that's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can take the train.
Yeah, sure.
So it's an option.
That is an option. No, but I mean, that's his concept in the candidates. If he's also going to go for a world championship match on his own, I mean, would be a bit rough, right?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, that
would be the first time. I mean, nobody did that, of course. It's hard to imagine. No?
To go without a second, right? But to go without anybody would be quite something. Right? Just, I'm just going to do this on my own.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, but do we rule that out completely?
I mean, even Fischer brought a couple of guys, right? I mean, to lose to him in bowling and this kind of essentials.
No, but is it completely impossible that Ding is going alone to the World Championship match?
I would think it's unlikely.
Think so, but
unlikely, I understand, but impossible, I don't think so. Actually.
I mean, he already went alone to the candidates, which we also thought was surprising. And here, maybe it's just
I mean, he just keeps on going there alone.
Organizers will be happy. Ding delegation needs one single room in the hotel.
Just one single, that's it.
Well, I mean, China is doing weird things, so...
No, even by rules, you have to have a head of delegation and all. I mean, Ding will just do it all, you think?
It's him too.
Yeah. I mean...
No, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some organization, and China, from what I heard, is now, lifting the corona restrictions, and traveling became easy, so that is no longer a reason. Maybe it was very short-term with regards to Wijk, but for the World Championship.
I think also at times he has gone to tournaments with his mother, probably, right? And maybe even a sister as well, if I remember correctly. So, we will see. But I think we're all big fans of Ding, and he's a very nice person. But we don't have much gossip about him, to be honest, right? So.
But very weird not to... I mean, we can see that he's playing different openings. So he plays Queen's Indian, and he played one E4 2 days today and on round 2. So he's clearly saying to Nepo that, okay, I may play anything, but it's also, again, to come back to this non-company, I mean, it's also not bad to test it before the match. I mean, you don't know, maybe you will get with someone who you think you like, but it's special, to go to tournaments with someone. So it's completely unclear if you will like the guy or not. Let's say you and Giri, for instance, Jan. How does that work? Wow. Are you still in love with each other?
I don't think it's ever been love, but I mean, it's not the first time I spent time with Giri, as you know, and we're comfortable.
Actually, Olympiad was.
No, I agree. It's because you end up spending a lot of time together in tight space, so it's a bit special. But I don't know. Maybe Ding also likes it that way. But Ding, if you need someone who's beloved by everybody in the chess world, who has tremendous match experience, Laurent Fressinet is always out there looking for options.
You're laughing, but it's true.
You can only go to French restaurants. That's the only caveat. Everything else will be very easy.
Yeah, but you can also bring me to different restaurants and mock me. So that would be the fun part, because I don't want to eat anything and I'm asking some bread.
We are laughing about these things, but there is 2.5 months till the match is supposed to start, right? I mean, normally you will have a full team in motion and all this kind of stuff by now, right?
Maybe he does. We don't know.
Maybe he does. And it could be that, the Chinese chess world is a bit secluded for us. So, I mean, I should speak for myself. I don't have a lot of sort of moles inside that to give me inside info. Maybe you guys do. But,
no.
No.
It's not like the Russian chess world where you have all these moles giving you
that is a different story, But I don't know. But the thing just seems himself. It's not like he seems like someone that is completely focused on the next match. But it's true that him playing E4 here twice feels a bit weird to me, and it just reminds me of Kramnik before the match with Lico, where he was he actually went on to play E4 in that match. It's still very difficult for me to believe that Ding is going to play one E4 in the match, but what do I know about these things?
Yeah, also, and so far he didn't get any. I mean, he got one E5 as black, which is his black repertoire, so it's a bit easier. I'm very curious to see him. If he keeps on playing one E4, I mean, I'm very curious to see a Sicilian, a Najdorf, or maybe he will play Bishop E5. I don't know what is his plan. But it's always the real test. When you go from one D4 to one E4, the real test is Sicilians. Because if you are not, it's very, very difficult to master, and many people got a lot of issues when they started one E4 with Sicilian.
Yeah, for Kramnik it was tough.
E5 you can deal with it. Kramnik especially just topped one e4 because of mainly knight off, and he was not getting the feeling for it.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit easier nowadays where you can, after d6, go bishop b5 check, after knight c6, bishop b5, or on the knight off, pick any positional line and switch on the computer. But no, I agree, of course. It's, I think playing 1e4 is this typical thing. Is it like first level thinking that he wants to pretend he's also an e4 player and then go back to d4 in the match? Is it second level to show he can now play e4 or d4? I mean, you can always take endless guesses with these things.
Yeah.
I think usually people have the tendency, maybe subconscious, to hide what they want to do in the match. Magnus was usually quite good at it, like keeping it balanced, or maybe just thinking, okay, I've been playing this for a while, might as well use it for a match. I'm not sure how much strategy there was. But I think usually people have overreacted a little towards, okay, I shouldn't play what I'm planning to play in the match, which also gives stuff away.
No, maybe he just thinks, let me play something very different, and we will see, how that goes. At least it feels different, and instead of playing his regular stuff he does all the time. Let's say he actually wants to play d4, c4 in the match, then he would always have to think, should I hold back this or that? Now, if he just goes e4 in all his game, he's completely gotten rid of that, and he's just playing for practice. I don't know.
Maybe he wants to see as well. He wants to see, maybe he's planning to play. I would guess that nowadays that Nepo seems to be playing the Petrov. Could be tempting, if he has some ideas. Petrov is quite in China. There's a lot of experts in Petrov, so I guess maybe someone.
You think they have a reputation lying around in China?
No, but they can have many ideas. Like, I don't know, this guy VE played Petrov all his life, so maybe he has a couple of ideas. I don't know, but if it's Petrov, I think that if you're stelding, you will get Petrov in the match. I think he might go for 1e4, but if he gets knight off, I'm not sure he will go 1e4. But okay, that's always a guess.
You are assuming that Ding actually has decided by now what he's going to play in the match. You just take that as a fact?
I think he has a clear idea, yeah.
Okay.
And of course, you always have to, I'm not going to, you have to prepare few weapons. You cannot say I'm going to play d4, c4 and see how it goes, yeah?
No, you can't do that.
No, that wouldn't. No.
That wouldn't be very serious. Just play different first moves.
But you have to look a bit around, yeah. You don't know.
Yeah. No, I was gonna mock your point about the Petrov experts, because I think nowadays it matters a little less than it used to, because Stockfish 15-1 is really good in all the openings. And I'm not sure how much you need like specialization in having expert in different fields. I think it's a bit more about having people he's comfortable with and that understand, what he likes, he doesn't like, and maybe not so much about openings anymore, but I'm not sure. So I'm not going to mock it because I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, no, you can always mock me, which you are doing.
Don't worry.
Great deal since the start, because you cannot mock your boss, obviously, in Wijk. And okay, so that's a problem. But in a way, we all know that when you are working for your openings for black, you generally are worried about something, and then this is how you discover ideas for the white side. I'm pretty sure, let's say, maybe for Giri in this Ragozin, maybe it was just he's a guy specialist as black. Okay, he's a specialist in everything, but he's playing a lot of Ragozin, and maybe he found this idea by checking this as black and getting scared about that. So it's how it generally comes, but I agree with your point that Stockfish is a good expert, but you have more. Let's say Jan, you have more chances to find an idea in the marshal as white than in the knight off.
That's true. That's true. I think that's true. Yeah. But I'm also slightly lower level and have less of a feel for that. And also, you feel maybe more ownership if it's like your openings and fields where you're more comfortable. But no, I agree with that it still plays a role.
And Magnus blundered.
Oh, he's much worse as the computer now.
Yeah.
On that note, let's end this podcast for today, unless I'm missing any exciting topics. Peter, you got anything else on your list?
Not something that's essential, no.
Okay, then this was it. Questions? What are the questions?
The question in the document you received.
But I thought it's a tradition. We ask for listener questions and then ignore them.
No, we should ask.
Okay, let's do it. Has Niemann's play? No, it's not Hans Niemann's. It's has Niemann's play since the accusations verified anything in particular? It seems that he essentially played as his rating would predict for several months now. Yeah, that's opening up a bit of a bigger topic. But I think I agree with the general notion. He's had decent results. He's been a strong player, but nothing that would feel strange from the games I've seen in Sieges. But sure. It's of course. We haven't covered Hans for a while. I'm not very up to date. Maybe one day we can get back into it.
Yeah, I agree. It's 27.06. He had been. I mean, the World Rapid and Blitz was. A pretty bad event for him. Well, a very bad event in like how many games? 35 games overall, 13 and 22. He didn't get even close to playing against Magnus, which is kind of a bad sign. And for some people, actually, it was a game that they were hoping for or looking for. I don't know. But I guess it was probably one of the goals of Niemann to play against Magnus in that event. So yeah, overall I agree with you. Nothing special, and yeah, he's playing at his 2700 level. Except Rapid and Blitz was quite a disaster for him.
All right, next question, or Peter.
No, I generally agree. He seems to be playing around his rating, so he's not one of the top 10 players in the world, but he's a decent around 2700 players, so nothing particularly unusual in that. So to say that if it verifies anything, that's not my impression. But to be honest, I haven't followed him a lot, I can honestly say, in that sense. So not really.
Badger wants to know, Badger Bader 420, when will Peter be making the Netflix FIDE corruption documentary? I think we would crowdfund it. Not sure that's how Netflix works, but yeah.
No, I am pretty sure I have even tagged Netflix in some commentary about it, but they haven't responded back as of yet. So probably we need to put more pressure on them. But I think it's a great idea.
Put pressure on Netflix, please.
I even thought that for them, I was trying to.
Like on FIDE.
I was trying to sell it for like 2 for 1, that they could have a second season of both. The FIFA documentary and then the Queen's Gambit thing, right? So you could basically merge it like that. But again,
the King's Gambit, based loosely on your life.
Something like that, yes. And I mean, well, so far, no response from Netflix. I think that's basically, you can see that Netflix being the bottleneck here.
Fair enough. Daryl Lewis is saying, hi, my question. Why have you gone 37 episodes without Ed Paul Borta as a guest? It's what Daryl wants to know.
But we didn't go with anyone as a guest.
Yeah, he shouldn't take it personal. It goes for the whole world, yeah? So
yeah.
I mean,
it's time.
Will you change?
Maybe we should.
Will you change?
Let us know what guests you want at Chicken Chest.
Magnus, we want Magnus.
He's a bit busy.
Very busy guy.
Anytime,
yeah.
Magnus, if you're listening, you come.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, but maybe, well, maybe we should do some guests. I don't know. Well, of course, 3 of us are arguing already. I'm not sure a 4th one would help, but it's worth a try.
Yeah.
What's there to lose?
It's always good to have more people disagreeing with Laurent.
Yeah.
Or Peter, depending. The alliances can change quickly.
Yeah.
But today I'm aligned with Peter.
This is unbelievable. No, but I mean, I like why. I mean, Jan is saying something. I think this is my comments from last week about your hair, which made you think like this. This is the ultimate truth. I mean, what you're saying, or what you're thinking is not the ultimate truth. We can debate in a normal way, I would think. But yeah, you don't want, so it's okay.
Wow.
No, but you don't want. I mean, okay. I mean, we can debate this gamer game, and I think it's interesting, actually. I mean, we can ask people if it was really a bad game from gamer. I don't think so.
It's the seventh time you bring up that game and
yeah.
position. Tweet at Laurent Fressinet if you think Bishop G5 was a great move or a fantastic move. I mean, like,
the last question is, what weapon of choice during a zombie apocalypse? I would put Laurent there to tire them by his argument. I think that
I would just, I should keep the French reputation and say that I would immediately surrender.
That is true.
Not choose a weapon. No, not fight. And surrender is a way, always.
That is always the way. Now,
I've watched every episode of the show. It used to be called Doomsday Preppers. I think now it's just called Preppers, where people prepare for different types of apocalypse. So I'm good to go. Like, I got my helicopter license. I have food supplies for 7 years in my garage. I have the self-regulating water system that I don't depend on it. Obviously, I have a collection of zombie fighting weapons. I've done extensive research on slow zombies, fast zombies. Like, it's not one weapon. It's your mind that's the weapon that prepares you for it.
But also, I mean, you will probably take it as a compliment, but it's really not meant like that. But you would be the first person I would go to for advice on the zombie apocalypse. I mean,
rightly so. There's few things I know something about, but Zombieland, I know all the rules by heart. Thank you.
You're welcome. Should we end on this high note? Or?
Please, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the Chicken Chess Club. Do the thing, I don't know, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, leave comments, give us 5 stars. So all the good stuff. And see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.